Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Academy for Civil Services. There's a video on daily news and editorial analysis which I'll be covering from two important newspapers, that is the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day would be discussed in this session. Let's get started with today's topic list. Today is 7th of December. The first topic is Afforestation Fund releases to states. Second, India-Russia renewed military pact. Third is two more indigenous COVID vaccine would be launched in India very soon. An official confirmation coming from the health minister. Now the second last is Shu Kai sentenced to 4 years in prison. We'll see the crisis in Myanmar. And the last is an editorial expanding India's engagement with Russia. So this is an editorial from the Hindu, as we know that the recent meeting between India and Russia is very important in terms of bilateral relationship between both countries. Other than this, there would be some MCQ based question. These questions would be based on current affairs that will help you for the prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. Starting with the first news of the day, that is Afforestation Fund releases to the state, something which is important for General Studies Paper 2, Government Policies and Intervention for the Development of Various Sectors. So what is the detail of this news? The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has informed the Parliament that the Compensatory Afforestation and Fund Management Planning Authority so far has disbursed amount of around 48,606 crore rupees to 32 Indian states. Right? This is how the fund would be distributed to all states, considering the fact that afforestation has to be promoted. Now in August 2019, Ministry ने कहा था that they have transferred 47,436 crore rupees to 27 states for the afforestation. As we know, afforestation is very important in terms of rising high air pollution that we are seeing in every state. Now, what is CAMPA? CAMPA fund is a part of long pending dues. It's a kind of compensatory afforestation fund ki part hai, and 54,000 crore tranches were collected in nearly a decade. Environmental compensatory from industry which has raised forest land for the businesses plan, right? So a compensatory fund is there जहाँ पे एक एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट पे एक फंड बनाई गई है and the entire fund is being collected from the industries who has severely impacted the environment. Now by comparison from the center, they have collected almost 9,656 crore rupees from the state from January 19 to March 20. Now center has its own monitoring scheme to approve the fund and that is being utilized by the state's government. Now what is compensatory afforestation fund की अगर बात करें, this actually was passed in 2016 but it finally get notified in 2018, and compensatory forest act is something which is important both for your prelims as well as for the mains examination. Now CAF act was enacted to manage the fund collected for compensatory afforest, which till then was managed by the CAMPA, that is Compensatory Forest Fund Management and Planning Authority. Now, as per the rule, 90% of the CAF fund is to be given by the states, while 10% is retained by the center government. Right? So this is talking about the fund that has been distributed between the center as well as the states. Now, allocations to the states, किस states को कितनी allocations की गई है? So Chhattisgarh, Odisha have had the maximum amount transferred to them. If we talk about the number 2 state, the first would be Chhattisgarh and second would be Odisha, right? And close to 57,000 crore rupees has been allocated to Jharkhand and Maharashtra. So they backed around Jharkhand 57,000 and Maharashtra 3,000, right? This is 5,700, not 57,000. And 3,000 crore rupees for Maharashtra. Now, India-Russia renew military pact. This is something which is important for General Studies Paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement evolving India's and affecting India's interest. The Prime Minister of India has met Russian President Vladimir Putin and this was on the sideline of 21st India-Russia annual summit that was held on Monday, that is yesterday. और बहुत सारी important issues पर discussion हुई, like relations between the two countries, including regional and global issues. As I have told you, yesterday we also had a discussion regarding this news. ये एक तरह से follow up news है जो इंडिया और रशिया के बीच में मीटिंग हुई है. तो जो recent development हुई है उसके कुछ important points मैं आपके साथ डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. Both sides renewed the military technical cooperation agreement, जहाँ तक आगे 10 सालों के लिए पूरी प्लान भी बनाई गई है, रोड मैप बनाई गई है, that how the both country would be functioning, right? And they have also signed a deal for manufacturing of AK-203 assault rifle, जो कि उत्तर प्रदेश के कोरबा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में डेवलप्ड हो रही है, right? And both sides concluded 28 agreement. These were the agreement that was done, adding several hydrocarbon project that is there on the line. Border issues, again something which is very important. So the defense delegation which has arrived in India, so defense minister ने ये important चीजों को highlight किए that defense challenges faced by India due to what has been termed as unprovoked aggressions on the northeastern border. So India is concerned about that, and they have highlighted these issues and discussed this issue with Russian counterpart. And both sides will collaborate with each other in increasing regional trust as well as global security. Now, bilateral deal की अगर बात करें, the bilateral logistic support and reciprocal exchange of logistic agreement, which is also known as RELOS, ये एक तरह से नेवी टू नेवी कॉपरेशंस में भी बात की गई है, जहाँ पे एजेंडा सेट किया गया है that how the logistic part would be moving between two countries. And Russia has also begun the deliveries of S-4 long-range air defense system for the shipment is en route. Because of this, काटसा की एग्रीमेंट यूएस ने इंडिया पे लगाई थी सैंक्शंस की वजह से. दे हैव आस्क्ड इंडिया एंड रशिया दैट दे शुड नॉट प्रोसीड, और इवन यूएस ने कहा था कि अगर इंडिया प्रोसीड करती है तो उनको काटसा के अंदर सैंक्शंस किया जाएगा, राइट? बट अगेन आफ्टर द न्यू प्रेसिडेंटशिप ऑफ जो बाइडेन द थिंग्स हैज इम्प्रूव्ड अ बिट इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर डिलीवरीज ऑफ एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम. सो अगर आप मेंस में लिख रहे हैं तो आप पीछे के पर्सपेक्टिव को भी हाईलाइट करेंगे. Now, 2 more indigenous COVID vaccines soon. This was an official confirmation coming from the Health Minister, Mr. Mansukh Mandya. This is important for General Studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So the Health Ministry has informed Parliament that 2 more indigenous COVID-19 vaccine would be available soon in the coming days. The government has not named any vaccine. They have not neither named the manufacturer, but we can be optimistic in a way that very soon these 2 vaccines would be coming into market. And the government has recently approved production linked incentive scheme, जिसको PLI schemes भी कहते हैं. This is for the API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, almost 40,000 crore rupees के आसपास allocate की गई है for 51 API. So if it is being asked कि जो PLI स्कीम है वो हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टर्म्स ऑफ मेडिसिन में कैसे हेल्प करी है, तो ये एग्जाम्पल आप वहाँ पे कोट कर पाएंगे, राइट? सो दिस इज फॉर 51 API, एक्टिव फार्मास्यूटिकल इंग्रेडिएंट. ये होती क्या है, व्हाट इज API? सो एवरी मेडिसिन इज मेड अप ऑफ 2 मेन इंग्रेडिएंट, राइट? हर एक मेडिसिन जो बनती है उसके कुछ 2 मेन इंग्रेडिएंट होते हैं. दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर मैन्युफैक्चर्ड. And the chemically active API and chemically inactive excipients with substance that deliver effects to API to one ecosystem, right? Now, API is a chemical compound that is most important raw material to produce and finish up medicine. तो जिस तरह से किसी भी चीज के ingredient होते हैं, तो API is a kind of ingredient and which leads to the final manufacturing of a medical product. In medicine, API produces the intended efforts to cure the diseases, right? Now, positive momentums की अगर बात करें इंडियन फार्म इंडस्ट्रीज की, so they have record almost 19.2 billion तक की एक्सपोर्ट की गई है फाइनेंशियल ईयर 19 में. And the countries like North America, Africa and Europe account for 66% of import that was done by India. Expanding the presence in China, Japan, Korea, Philippines and Australia. In July 2019, export have seen 21.7% jump and the value was around $1.7 billion. The farmers sell to submit the detailed report presenting the improving the self-reliance in the country in terms of manufacturing the domestic produce of the medicines. Now, Suu Kyi sentenced to 4 years in prison. This is a crisis that Myanmar is facing, something which is important for general studies paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. So, a court of Myanmar has found the elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. She was removed by the generals. The military power has overtaken. We have discussed this news way before when the crisis started. And she was found guilty of the charges that were widely dismissed as a political motivated and sentenced to her detentions and undisclosed locations, right? तो अनडिस्क्लोज लोकेशंस पे उनको रखा गया है और चार्जेस कोविड से पहले भी लगाए गए हैं करप्शन के इश्यूज को लेकर. So she was convicted with a 4 year term, and she has been hit a series of charges that include violation of Official Secret Act, importing illegal walkie-talkies, and electoral fraud. So these are the main charges upon which she was convicted for a 4 year term. Now, what does UN stand on this? The US has slammed the judgment that was given by the court. The UN Human Rights Chief has denounced the 4 year term, and she handed down the Myanmar outside leader that after the shame trial, she called for an immediate release of Suu Kyi, right? So let's see how this crisis will go, because military is dominated even in parliament in Myanmar. So we have to see how this development go, because this is important for India as well. We have a good relationship with Myanmar. Talking about relationship between India and Myanmar, देखिए इसके कुछ जो strategic importance है वो आपको समझनी पड़ेगी. India and Myanmar have been there an underway relationship by the Treaty of Friendship that was signed in 1951. Since our इंडिपेंडेंस के तुरंत बाद काफ़ी अच्छी रिलेशंस रही हैं, बट एक मीनिंगफुल रिलेशंस की बात करें दैट एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड इन 1987. And India and Myanmar have traditionally much more common culture, historical, ethnic, religious group, and even India share geographical land boundaries, maritime boundaries in Bay of Bengal. Myanmar is geologically significant to India as a distinct center to India's Southeast Asia's geography. And Myanmar is the only Southeastern Asia's country that share a land border with Northeastern states, right? So this is strategically important, and India is also concerned about the development and crisis ongoing in Myanmar. Now, expanding India engagement evolved with Russia, right? अगर बात करें इस तरह की न्यूज़ की, this is in context with the recent visit of the Russian President Vladimir Putin, and important for general studies paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India's and affecting India's interest. So what is there in this news? कुछ 5 important सबहेड है जो मैं आपके साथ डिस्कस करूंगा. फर्स्ट इज a strategic partnership, India-Russia strategic partnership, India-Russia defense partnership, and 2+2 dialogue and way forward. And the entire theme of this editorial is India-Russia recent summit, right? So this is how this would be functioning. And again, these type of news is very important for your bilateral relationship between India and Russia, especially for the student who are having PSIR as an optional subject, right? So make sure आप इसके जो good points है वो note करें. Now, while visiting India during 21st India-Russia summit, the Russian president met India's Prime Minister, that is Mr. Narendra Modi, and he has highlighted the constant effort by both leaders, right, to provide impetus on India-Russia special privilege strategic partnership. Russia is a good partner in terms of defense and space. Many other sectors are there that we have a good relationship with Russia. Strategic partnership की अगर बात करें तो इंडिया रशिया मीटिंग इज एन एटमॉस्फेयर जहाँ पे बहुत सारे रीजनल और ग्लोबल इश्यूज को कंसर्न लिया गया है. एक ट्रस्ट वर्दी की अगर बात करें कंट्रीज को तो रशिया हैज ऑलवेज बीन अ ट्रस्ट वर्दी कंट्री फॉर इंडिया, एंड बोथ कंट्रीज हैज अ रिलेशन विद स्टूड द टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम, एवर शिफ्टिंग नेचर एंड नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. पोस्ट कोल्ड वॉर की अगर बात करें, इंडिया हैज इमर्ज्ड एज एन इकोनॉमिक पावर हाउस, a key stakeholders in today's global debate of climate change, international trade या menace of terrorism की बात करें. ये issues ऐसी भी है जिसको रशिया ने काफ़ी टाइम से हाईलाइट करते रहा है, and they have been pretty concerned about these issues as well, which India equally has been highlighting the issues in global forum. And the relation between both countries has evolved with time, deepening the integrations, widening the breadth of a relation. So what India want कि रशिया के साथ जो भी हमारे रिलेशनशिप है वो broaden हो, strengthen हो, so that No other countries in that region can have a vacuum that is even not created, actually not created, but we want a good relationship with Russia. इंडिया रशिया स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप की अगर बात करें, सो रशिया हैज़ बीन अ क्लोजेस्ट फ्रेंड ऑफ allies with signing deeds of declaration on India-Russia strategic partnership. This was actually signed in 2000 to unlock the new opportunities. कुछ specific sectors रखे गए हैं like science and technology, space, energy, न्यूक्लियर टाइज जो कुंदाकुलम प्रोजेक्ट चल रही है तमिलनाडु में, वो भी एक बहुत ही सिग्निफिकेंट और इम्पॉर्टेंट स्टेप्स होगी. उसके कुछ 2 प्लांट अभी कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं और कंप्लीट हो रहे हैं. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट अग्रीमेंट विद इंडिया एंड रशिया. Trade and commerce, cultural, people to people connect is there. Many of the students from India visit Australia, basically talking about Russia, they visit Russia for medical studies. To where एक सिटी है जहाँ पे बहुत सारे मेडिकल कॉलेजेस हैं रशिया में. तो इस तरह की पीपल टू पीपल कनेक्ट, स्टडी कनेक्ट और कल्चरली कनेक्ट काफ़ी ज़्यादा है इंडिया और रशिया के बीच में. नाउ इंडिया रशिया डिफेंस पार्टनरशिप की अगर बात करें, रशिया इज अ की एंड प्रिंसिपल सप्लायर ऑफ आर्म्स एंड आर्ममेंट्स टू इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस विच अकाउंट फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 60% ऑफ वेपन. जो इंडियन आर्मी में जितनी भी वेपन्स है उसके 60% जो हमने इंपोर्ट किया है वो रशिया से किया है, बाकी कुछ इजराइल से किए हैं, राइट. एंड इट कंप्राइजेज द होल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कवरिंग इंडियन आर्म, इंडियन फोर्स, मतलब तीनों जो हमारे फोर्सेज हैं, आर्मी, नेवी और एयरफोर्स, तीनों में सप्लाईज है. And India has recently inducted S-400 Trump missile system, right? Again, fighter jets हैं, T-90 tanks हैं, Carvik class के Slith frigates हैं, that weapons, armory weapons, which is given to Indian forces. BrahMos missile system was successfully collaborated in a joint research, development and productions. Now, science and technology, nuclear energy, space has been the driving force in building a good and healthy relationship between India and Russia. 2+2 की डायलॉग वो भी रिसेंटली है, काफ़ी मैकेनिज्म दैट हैज़ बीन स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ फ्रेमवर्क कोऑपरेशंस और दोनों कंट्री के बीच में एक वाइडर कोऑपरेशन करने की बात की गई है. द एरिया, द फोकस एरिया इंक्लूड डिफेंस, ट्रेड, इन्वेस्टमेंट, एनर्जी, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में बी द पार्ट ऑफ एजेंडा. एंड रशिया नीड टू वर्क टुगेदर टू ट्रायलेटरल मैनर, जहाँ पे फ्लेक्सिबल फ्रेमवर्क बनाई गई है for South Asian countries as well as Central Asian countries, right? Way forward की अगर बात करें, with the concerning of this particular meeting, जो इंडिया रशिया के recent meeting हुई है, उस context में अगर बात करें, both India and Russia need to look at the people powers, youth exchange as well as deeper links between the field that include sports, culture, spiritual and regional studies. तो इन सारी चीज़ों को भी हमें highlight करने की ज़रूरत है. They need to establish a fact that this is an area where the healthy, more robust relationship can be developed. And finally, Buddhism can be an area where both countries can expand their interactions, where the peace and sustainability can act as a bond on turbulent world. तो अगर आप वे फॉरवर्ड लिखें तो ये कुछ न्यूअर पॉइंट है, फोल्डर पॉइंट्स हैं जो आपके एग्जाम के लिए काफ़ी रेलेवेंट है, राइट. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट द एडिटोरियल पार्ट. नाउ मूविंग अहेड विद द एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चंस ऑफ द डे. बिफोर आई प्रोसीड, जस्ट टू टेल यू द answers of yesterday questions. For the first question, the correct option is C. For the second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ, Carbon Watch app was recently developed by which among the following state? Karnataka, Chandigarh, Madhya Pradesh or Jharkhand, right? If you know the correct answer, do let me know in the comment section down below, and you have to participate in the question answer while answering your correct option in the comment section. Second statement about the Defence Acquisition Council. It is a constitutional body. The Prime Minister of India is the chairman of the council. So again, let me know how many of you know the correct answer. I think most of you would be able to answer this question. This is a very easy question. So do let me know how many of you know the correct answer. Write your answer in the comment section down below. This was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching.